Hello survivors, this is Sunny and I am bringing you the ultimate DayZ Standalone loot / road guide to make sure you have better chances to survive, find decent gear and make sure that you won't get lost in this huge Chernogorsk Plus map. Please make sure you do not disable annotations in this video as it is vital for the video to be interactive. If you are new to the game or want to learn about all the roads, just let the video play from the beginning to the end. If you do not know where you are and how to find it out, please click on the annotation below. It will lead you to another video to help figuring out where you are. Finally, if you just need a quick road guide for a specific place, please click on the location name. First off, we will look at the western spawns, as they intend to be the most common spawns, and you could say that they are one of the best spawns in the game. So here are all the western roads on one picture. All roads have their own color throughout the video, and purple footprints show a shared road where more than one road has the same path. All roads are recommendations and should not be taken as law. Please note that you do not necessarily spawn in the city, but also in the surrounding areas. Kamenka. Yellow represents Kamenka's road. Kamenka's path is pretty straightforward, as you loot Kamenka for general loot as clothing, bags, melee weapons, food and drinks, and then proceed north to military base. Do not forget to find a well in Kamenka and drink until your character tells you he or she is full. From military base you continue going slightly northwest to Pavlovo, as it offers a little general loot before you take a bit longer journey to Zelenogorsk. Zelenogorsk is basically the western capital of the map and has a lot of good general loot in it. But be aware, good and high amount of loot will draw in players. Komarovo. Next we have the red road that represents Komarovo. I suggest looting Komarovo for clothing, bags, melee weapons, food and drinks. Also do not forget to drink from the well until your character complains about how full he or she is. After that you are facing a choice. Option A, you will move straight to military base in northwest from Komarovo. The military base actually has medical spawn in it, so if you are in need of those, this is the road for you. This road is also a bit safer since people also spawn in Balota, and Balota is famous for its bandits who are there to kill you. After military base, you continue going slightly northwest to Pavlovo, as it offers a little general loot before you take a bit longer journey to Zelenogorsk. Zelenogorsk is basically the western capital of the map and has a lot of good general loot in it. But be aware, good and high amount of loot will draw in players. Option B, you will head east to Balota and its riches. Balota is a small town in south that has airport with military loot in it. That offers good loot for high risk. Let the video play for Balota guide. Balota. You could say that Balota is the king of spawns. The village offers a nice amount of houses with general loot where you can find clothing, melee weapons, food and drinks. Also do not forget to drink from the well until your character starts bitching about being full. From there go to the tent village between the airstrip and the sea, as it usually spawns a lot of weapon parts, ammunition, military clothing and bags. Then proceed to barracks buildings and two-story jail building next to the hangars, west from the airstrip. Finally head over to the two-story jail building on the east side of the airstrip to find a weapon and more military loot. Given that you most likely have some weapon parts and ammunition, I advise you to run for the woods as soon as you get the weapon. If Balota was already looted and you still do not have some military loot, you could continue towards the military base just north from Kamenka. It also has a hospital in it, and it might be your chance to get some much needed medical supplies. Otherwise I would go straight northwest and head towards Zelenogorsk. From military base you continue going slightly northwest to Pavlovo, as it offers little general loot before you take a bit longer journey to Zelenogorsk. Zelenogorsk is basically the western capital of the map and has a lot of good general loot in it, but be aware, good and high amount of loot will draw in players and bandits. Chernogorsk. Chernogorsk, or Cherno for short, is the capital of Chernogorsk, and it offers a high amount of general and industrial loot for the players. Cherno's road is marked with green. Due to its size, it has a lot of loot and chances of finding things needed is bigger, but going through the city will take more time. Also keep in mind that good and high amount of loot will draw in players, and high number of players draws in bandits, who are there just to kill you. After looting Cherno for general loot such as clothing, bags, melee weapons, food and drinks, make sure you drink as long as you're full, and then proceed west until you reach Balota airfield. Just on the outskirts of the woods you see a 2-story jail building that spawns some military loot like weapons, clothing and bags. Also, if you're lucky, you can find some ammunition from there. If you do not have everything needed yet, continue south towards the sea and visit the tent village between airfield and the sea. It has a high amount of loot spawns that spawn weapon parts, ammo and military clothing. After looting the tents, go back to the western part of the airfield to loot the barracks buildings and the eastern jail building. Hangars also spawn loot, but make sure you are out of there as soon as you have everything needed. If you did not get a weapon and ammo, I would go towards the military base just north from Kamenka. However, if you got medical supplies from Cherno and all the military gear from Balota, I would head north towards Zelenogorsk. Prigorodki. Prigorodki is basically Cherno's suburb. Prigorodki's road is marked with cyan. You can find some industrial and general loot there, but not much. However, do not forget to drink from the pond until you are full, and from there to run Cherno's other suburb called Tupki, or Cherno itself. Tupki has 2 office buildings and a shop where you could find the most needed stuff, while Cherno offers very good industrial and general loot with significantly higher risk rate. From Tupki you could head west to reach Balota airfield, or go south to loot Cherno as well. Click on the annotation to move to Cherno's looting guide. This is the end of western spawns. Here are all the eastern spawns with the roads. Elektrozavodsk. Elektrozavodsk, or Elektro for short, is second biggest city in the south, and its road is marked with red. Due to its size, it has a lot of loot and chances of finding things needed is bigger, but going through will take more time. Also keep in mind that good and high amount of loot will draw in players, and high number of players draws in bandits who are there just to kill you. After looting Elektro for general loot such as clothing, bags, melee weapons, food and drinks, make sure you drink as long as you are full. After that, you stand between a choice. If you are not crying for military gear, or maybe you already found some kind of firearm, you could go north, or if you didn't find any firearm and are not afraid to risk, you could go for Tupki and or Chernogorsk northwest from you. Tupki has 2 office-like buildings and a shop where you could find the most needed stuff, while Cherno has, as the capital of Chernogorsk, offers very good industrial and general loot with significantly higher risk rate. From Tupki you could head west to reach Balota or go south to loot Cherno as well. Click on the annotations to move Cherno's looting guide. Kamyshovo. Spawning in Kamyshovo is worse than getting killed in DayZ, but do not give up yet. Kamyshovo is also the safest place to spawn, as the spawns there are not that frequent and the amount of players wandering around in the eastern part of the map is significantly smaller than it is in the west. The road is marked with orange. Loot Kamyshovo for general loot like clothing, bags, melee weapons, food and drinks, and do not forget to fill your dummy with water using the well until the chair starts complaining. Now if you feel that you are not yet ready to be thrown out there to the cruel world and you have some food and drinks with you, you could adventure north towards Stary, which is the first bigger city that you will see. The downside of this route is that you most likely will not find any military loot on your way to the northern Chernogorsk. But if you feel extra adventurous and you are willing to take a longer journey than Bilbo Baggins from Hobbit to find yourself some weaponry, then you can head southwest towards Elektro. Click on the annotation to move Elektrozavodsk guide. This is the end of all eastern spawns. Here are all the mid-map spawns with the roads. Stary and Novy Sobor. While all other spawns are on the southern shore, There are some bizarre cases where you spawn in Novy or Stary Sobor. As you spawn in the middle of the map, there is no reason for you to go all the way back to south for military base, and there actually is one military base quite near to you. However, you have to wipe the thought of getting some medical loot from your head. Loot Stary and Novy Sobor for general loot like loading packs, melee weapons, food and drinks, and fill your belly with water by using one of the wells until you are completely full. Then continue west towards the military base to find yourself a weapon and some ammo. If you didn't find anything there, continue going north towards the famous northwest airfield. Please note, firstly, military base and airfield are high risk areas and player contact is certain more than 50% of the time. Therefore, I suggest you to watch out and be extremely careful in those areas. Military bases and airfields draw in bandits who are only there to kill other players and have no intention to help you. In most cases, you want to avoid other players as they intend to be especially hostile in these locations, since you're basically fighting over good loot. After you have some idea about the game, do not follow the roads dot by dot, since these are the most common roads and might be watched over by bandits, or you might bump into other not so friendly players. Thank you all for watching, and I really hope that my 5-hour work is helping you out. If you found it helpful and liked the content, please do not hesitate to leave a comment, like, share and subscribe for more news tutorials about DayZ Standalone. This was Sanin, and I'll see you next time.